back to my YouTube channel. So today I am sharing with you some tips on how to start your blog from a social media manager. So I got my degree from Arizona State University and it's in digital audiences. So I'm currently working as a freelance social media consultant, social media manager, digital marketing. That's kind of the umbrella I'm in. So basically what I do is I help your brand or your company online. I help you promote it, I help you advertise it, and in turn I hope that will get you the clients or the products sold that you're interested in. So that's a little bit about me and what I do. So I also have a blog, CassieDenisco.com, that I started last May, and that is why I'm sharing with you some tips on how to start a blog. My first tip is to have a plan. So I really went in blind. I decided it was, I think, a Tuesday or a Wednesday that I was just gonna wake up and start a blog. I was researching a little bit prior to that, but I did not do nearly as much research as I should have. I started my blog, created the website, then I wrote a blog post, and then I uploaded it, and that was it. And I wish I had known that I should have spent a lot more time figuring out how the blog website worked. Then I wish I spent more time developing content, and then I wish I spent more time promoting it. So if I were to go back, my first thing that I would do is to really develop a plan or even a strategy on how I would write content and then promote it. So it's really important to know how your blogging platform works. I decided to go with WordPress. I'll talk a little bit more in my second tip about why, but I really had no clue how to use it. I had no clue how to code. I took 1 or 2 coding classes for my degree, so I had a little bit of experience, but I did not have nearly as much experience as I should have. And the same thing with writing content. For one of the internships, I was writing blog posts, but now they were posts for me, and I didn't even spend time making a draft and going back to the draft. I literally was just typing and putting it out there fresh out of my mind. And then for promoting, I did nothing. So I really suggest to you to make sure that before you get into the blogging world that you realize you need to have a strategy or a plan in place in order to be successful. So my second tip is to invest in your platform. So whether you're using WordPress, whether you're using Wix, whether you're using Squarespace, whatever you're using, I personally really love WordPress. I think they make it really easy for you. And as I said in my first tip, I had no clue how to build a website. I did it for my major. I practiced that in college, but I had no idea how to build and customize a website that was going to work for me, and WordPress made it really easy because of the plans they have in place. So some of the plans are super cheap. I think some of them are $5 or $7, but then as you go up, you get more benefits. So I initially was just using the free WordPress version, nothing crazy at all, but then I realized that I will do so much better with a domain name that's actually one that I own. So I changed it to CassieDenisco.com. And after that, my numbers started to really skyrocket and pick up because I wasn't having .wordpress or .wix or whatever. So owning your own domain is so crucial to having a successful blog, as well as making sure you're spending money on a platform that's going to help you in the long run. I love the customer service team at WordPress. If I ever have a question, a comment, or a concern, they seriously always will they'll chat back, or they'll send me an email back, and I really like it. I can't talk too much to a Wix or Squarespace or any of the other websites, but I just know that I personally really like WordPress, and the advertising agency that I had interned at also used WordPress, so it is a really great site and I highly recommend checking it out. And like I said, there is a free version. If you are not sure if blogging is for you, you could start off with the domain. It'll be whatever you want .wordpress.com, or you can get the plan so that you can purchase your domain and then have your blog just run through WordPress. So it's really important to spend the money on that. I know in the beginning you're not making any money at all and you're like, why am I spending like $300 a year on a website? But in the long run, that $300 really is nothing compared to the other things that can come from blogging. So my third tip is to promote on social media. And I at first was kind of nervous to do that. I mean, I had stepped out of my comfort zone by making a blog, and I really had no intentions of sharing it with the world until I realized that when I started using Instagram and Facebook, Pinterest, even Tumblr and Twitter, that I was getting more people clicking the link and going and looking at my post or my website or whatever it was. So I definitely recommend promoting on social media, and to do your research. I like to use, my main three are Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest, and my social media platform that makes the most or drives the most traffic to my site is actually Pinterest. I use a automatic scheduler that I can go in like on a Monday and schedule all the pins for the week, and it'll pin them for me, and then that's how it helps to drive my numbers up. And then people will click on the pin, they'll either save it or they'll click on the link to go to like my recipe or whatever I'm talking about. And I think it's super important to realize that Pinterest is basically like a Google when you think about it, because you type in the search bar whatever you want to type, and then there's nice pictures and content that's popping up that matches it. So it's similar to Google in that sense. And if you understand that and you learn how to master it, Pinterest can really drive traffic for your blog. And if you're interested in learning more about that, leave a comment down below and I can make a whole video on that. My other two that I use a lot are Instagram and Facebook. Not so much Facebook. I actually just a couple weeks ago made a public page and started posting on there, so that has really helped. But for the most part, it's been Instagram. I like to do an Instagram story like announcing new blog post at blah blah blah. Then I have of the blog post like what it's about, and then sometimes I'll do product links or product tags so that brands see that I'm talking about them. But I also like to make sure that I have a picture to post that day, because posting on Instagram constantly will get you the best numbers. So I think it's really important to understand that social media is a tool for you, and don't take it for granted and don't not use it like I had in the beginning. I was barely posting social media at all, and I was just relying on like Google searches, not even though, because we'll get into the next one, but Google searches and just like WordPress people, because when you use WordPress they put it out to all their people, and then people can look at it that way. So I think it's really important to make sure that you understand social media is so important for you to use and to help you promote, and that's what's going to drive the most traffic to your blog, by announcing it and really advertising it on social media. So my fourth tip is to learn SEO tools. So SEO stands for search engine optimization. I have a Google certification in Google Analytics. So my fourth tip is learn about SEO tools. SEO is search engine optimization, and it is so important for you to understand what it is and what it does for you. So search engine optimization, so websites like Google, Bing, all of those places will rank your post or your website, whatever it is, in different rankings based on how rich it is in keywords and in key topics that are trending right now. So there's a lot of ways you can research SEO. I have a plugin from WordPress. Another reason why I really like WordPress is they have a plugin that kind of helps me with it. In the beginning I didn't know a lot about it, and I had just started learning about it in school, so I had no clue how important and how crucial it is. So now I like to make sure that I have a lot of rich keywords in my blog post. So you'll notice if the title is summer playlist 2020, I'll have summer playlist there, because that's something that a lot of people are Googling right now. And I'll make sure that I have it a couple of different times in the post, so that again, it pulls my blog post, my website higher in Google search terms. So if someone goes to Google summer playlists, then it'll pull it higher and there's a better chance of someone clicking on it for me. And that's really important to know because Google is really competitive when you think about it. How many bloggers are out there with lots of similar content? You want to make sure that you are doing everything you can to step your website up and to make it stand apart from all of the other bloggers in your niche or your field. And my fifth and last tip is to understand that success will not happen overnight. It's easy to do, I feel like, on other platforms like YouTube or TikTok. Like, you would just need like one video to go viral or someone to see a really great thumbnail and people are just going to keep clicking on it. Whereas with blogging, you really have to take the time to build a connection with your readers. I know for me, I prefer blogging to making content like this because I like to read, and I like that I take the time out of my day to read my favorite bloggers' posts because I really appreciate what they have to say, and the fact that they sat down and wrote a whole blog post like with a lot of details on certain products and certain things I think is so important. But with that being said, you have to build that trust and that relationship with your audience members, and that doesn't happen overnight. I also think that's similar to how Instagram and other places are too. You have to make sure that your audience wants to continue to come back to your content and continue to read it, watch it, listen to it, whatever it may be. And building a relationship with your audience is something that doesn't happen like that. Being a successful blogger means you have to take the time to, like I've said with the other things, do your research, educate yourself, build up your website traffic, and then build your audience in order to make sure that all those things are together, they're solid, you have a good foundation in order to continue to produce content that people are going to want to come back to all the time. So I hope these tips and tricks helped you. If you're interested in more content like this, I mean, this is what I have a college degree in, so I do know a lot about it, and I also feel like I know a lot about it just from my internships, my freelance work, and from my own experience blogging and stuff like that. So if you're interested in more like this, be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know what you're interested in for the next video. And be sure to subscribe so that you never miss a video, and turn on the bell for the post notifications. I hope you have an awesome day, and if you have any questions, let me know. I'll see you all soon.